Blast me to the mortal realms! It's time for the Mad Merlins review of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer, issue 63 by Hachette Artworks and Warhammer. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer video review, and today we are looking at issue 63, which sees us get our last Kharadron Overlord model, the Arkanaut Admiral. We also learn about Kharadron Skyports and the Head Knights of Slaanesh. So before we dive into the issue, don't forget to give this video a like if you are enjoying the content, and if you are, please do consider subscribing to me if you haven't done so already. And if you'd like to see more stuff from the channel, there are ways to support the channel in the video description, links to my other social medias and my Patreon page. So let's take a look then at issue 63. So just got the one little model. So 32mm base and of course a single frame. So let's zoom in and take a look at this guy. And then we'll take a look through the actual issue. So here we have the Arkanaut Admiral, and he looks pretty cool. So pretty standard Dwarden build here. We got back of torso, front of the torso. Got his detailed base. We got 1 foot, 2 foot. His backpack, head, his pistol, and his hammer, plus the connectors going over his shoulders there as well, and a few other little details that need gluing on. Yeah, pretty cool little model. A nice end to our collection. So yeah, new character to help lead our little small Kharadron force. And then we have the close-up of his head. Looks really cool. Nice ornate metal beard there, and a mustache. Looking really cool. We've got like a mini repeater pistol, which is also pretty neat. Yeah, looking forward to building and painting this guy. It'll be quite a fun little model to do. So that's all we can say really for him. So let's take a look through our actual issue. So diving into issue 63. So first off, we have the Skyports for the Kharadrons. Then we look at a new faction of Chaos, the Head Knights of Slaanesh. We have our collect, build, paint and play articles for the Arkanaut Admiral. We have tactics pages for order units, and we have Flame and Fury mission muddled maps. So let's take a look at the different skyports of the Kharadron. Dominating the skies and the mortal realms are the skyports of the Kharadron overlords, colossal floating fortresses and hives of industry. So yeah, they're basically aerial cities, predominantly inhabited by the Kharadron overlords, where they manufacture weapons, ships and armor for the various different factions of order, but mostly for themselves. It will be a hefty price to acquire Dwarden fashioned armor or weapons, but people are willing to pay for their master craftsmanship. So they are safe harbours. During the Age of Chaos, the Dwarden took to the skies to escape the terrible assaults by the forces of the Dark Gods on Shamon. Early skyports were formed from existing aerial mining colonies, while others were improvised retreats using Aether technology of the day. These makeshift defences soon evolved into fearsome strongholds that were able to mount deadly assaults on the Kharadron Overlord's enemies, as well as keeping them safe from attacks. And next we have a list of some of the more notable skyports. So my personal favourite, the blue and red of Barak Zon. So Barak Zon is one of the most famous of the Kharadron Overlord skyports. It hovers high in the sky above the realm of Hysh, so high that the air in its streets is barely breathable. It is a proud city, and much of the architecture has been designed to celebrate its army's many victories over its enemies. We have the most numerous city, Barak Nar. We also have Barak Molinar and Barak Fring. Moving on then, we have the Headlights of Slaanesh as they look at our latest Chaos faction. Across the mortal realms, the armies of the Headlights of Slaanesh inflict cruelty and suffering upon their foes. Drawn together in violent war bands, the followers of this depraved god seek out luxury and revel in all manner of debased excess as they quest for traces of the Dark Prince. So as we know from the previous articles about Tyrion Teclis, the Dark God Slaanesh has been imprisoned, but his followers are ever seeking to try and locate and free him. So the Dark Prince Slaanesh is a god of pleasure and excess. He has taken many forms to his followers and his will is fickle. But what is constant is that he has always been a god of sensation and decadence. So there's an empty throne on the Pantheon which belongs to Slaanesh. And yeah, his followers will go to great lengths to revel in their excess. Moving on, we got our collect article for our Arkanaut Admiral. Arkanaut Admirals are Kharadron Overlord officers who have reached the pinnacle of command. Each one of them ascends to their position through impeccable service over many years. Although formidable warriors in their own right, their role is to command the whole sky fleets in battle. So yeah, these guys are basically the heads of the Arkanaut flotilla. So we've got a table to roll for his origins there, and the tactics he most commonly uses in battle. And then we got space to write down his name and some tactical deeds he has done in combat there. Really nice Kharadron colour scheme there, gold, silver and dark blue. Pretty cool. Moving on, we got his build guide. So he's pretty simple. Gluing the leg to the back, gluing the front torso in place, gluing the left leg in, gluing the three pieces of the backpack together before gluing onto his back. And then we just have his gun, hammer and head to glue on, plus the rocks on his base, and there you go. So pretty simple model, very open and easy to get to, so you can easily build this guy all in one colour. One piece even, one colour. I was looking at the paint guide. Yeah, you can build this guy pretty simply and still be able to paint everything around him. Speaking of painting, we got our paint guide. So we're basing him in Retributor armour with the rock and in Dawnstone and the crystals in Cantor Blue, as well as the knee lenses. Incubi Darkness for some of the other smaller crystals, and Baraknar for some of the others to help break up the blue. Also painting the soft material around his collar and the grip on his hammer in Baraknar Burgundy, before picking out some of the armour panels in Lead Belcher to help break up the gold. So yeah, just work your way around, picking out various different parts to make different. And we're using Wraithbone for the softer undersuit, as well as the icon on his right shoulder pad. Mephiston Red for the valve on his back. Rune Lord Brass to pick out some of the other armour sections just to help break up the colour more. And Abaddon Black for the pipe going to and from his power pack. Next up then, we are washing him. So we're using Nuln Oil to paint the base and the silver armour, Agrax Earthshade to paint the bronze armour, and the rock, and Reichland Fleshshade to paint the gold armour, Skeleton Horde to shade the soft undersuit. And then we start looking at highlights. So all our metals are highlighted with Stormhost Silver. Just take your time picking out all the sharpest edges. It is a bit tricky. You could end up drowning this guy in silver, so don't highlight everything, just highlight the prominent, more focused areas. Picking out the blue details with a highlighted Teclis blue / grey on the Baraknar details, Cyberite green on the rocks, Dawnstone on the black details, and White Scar to edge highlight all the Wraithbone and Skeleton Horde details, and yeah, there we have a pretty nicely done Arkanaut Admiral. So you can see he's based in the standard magazine base scheme. Yeah, he looks pretty good. A little too, I don't know, looking at the studio painted one and this one, he seems to lose a bit on the shine. I think they've overdone the silver, and yeah, they could have really done with highlighting with some lighter golds, just to help, you know, not overpower it with a single colour. But moving on then, we have his War Scroll page. So he has a move of 4 as he's only a Dwarden, a save of 3, bravery 8 and 6 wounds. So he has a masterwork of volley pistol, 9-inch range, only 3 attacks, 3 to hit, 3 to wound, -1 rend and 2 damage. And his Scalp Hammer is 1-inch range, 3 attacks, 3 to hit, 2 to wound, -2 and 3 damage. So he has the Arkanaut, the Admiral's flagship. So if this unit is the general of a Kharadron Overlord's army, pick a ironclad or frigate in the army to be the flagship. Record this information on your army roster. Once per turn, this unit can issue a command to his flagship without using a command point. Pretty cool. And he's has Grudge Breaker rounds. So once per battle, at the start of your shooting phase, pick a friendly Kharadron Overlord's unit that is not a sky vessel. Within 12 of this unit, until the end phase, improve the rend by 1. The same unit cannot benefit from it more than once per phase. Bring every gun to bear, so you can use this command ability at the start of your shooting phase. The unit that receives this command must be a sky vessel that is more than 3 inches from all enemy units, that remains stationary in the movement phase, and did not receive fly high commands. Add 1 to the attack of missile weapons in that unit until the end of the phase. Finally, then he has Command the Sky, so you can use this command ability at starting movement phase. Unit that receives it must be a sky vessel more than 3 inches from all enemy units. That unit can reroll run rolls this phase. In addition, that unit can run and still shoot and or charge later on. Over the page then, we've got tutorials on 2 of these rules, so Grudge Breaker rounds and Command the Skies. So for this example, we're using the Grundstock Gun Hauler that came with our premium kit, and in the Grudge Breaker rounds, we've got the Grundstock Thunderers there as well. So continuing with the Arkanaut Admiral, we are actually getting his tactics page. So the positives is he's a good fighter and supports ranged units, but as with all Kharadron units, he is pretty slow. Then we've got the Engine Master in dirigible suit. So again, he's got a lot of ranged attacks. He has a high move due to his flight suit even. But he is a single model, and yeah, he will be a target quite easily. Next up then, we got our mission for the issue, so Flame of Fury muddled maps. So picking our heroes and troops, 3 heroes, 5 troops on each side. And using all 4 mats, we have 5 objectives and X in the center of the battlefield. And for usual, we score points for holding 1 objective, 2 objectives, and more than the opponent. Finally, if at the end of the battle round you have successfully contested more objectives than your opponent, you can make run and charge moves on the same turn until the end of the next battle round. So yeah, pretty cool. Then we got spaces to record our rosters and what Eve and Ian has done for their armies. Next issue then, we got Scragot the Loon King, Fires of History, and a brand new battle plan. Issue 65, we have the Guardian Idol, actually battlefields as we look at a new battlefield area to play over, and core tactics as well. So here we have issue 63, and yeah, it was a fun little issue. Really nice detailed paint guide for our Arkanaut Admiral, and he is a fun little model. Not much else to say. It was a good issue, couple of nice bits of information. I liked a little bit more of a depiction of the different sky ports, showing off a couple of different colour schemes have been quite nice, I think. Hopefully we might get something in a future article, but I think we are going to be moving away, sadly, from the Karajon stuff, as we're going to be starting the Iron Jaws very soon. Let me know what you thought of that episode in the video description down below, or comment section even. And yeah, until next time, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe and happy hobbying. Goodbye.